when you're moving from place to place. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning, morning. Good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, Tobago, and welcome to the Tobago Updates Youth Morning Show. This morning, we're joining you live from the Lambo Recreational Grounds under the theme Winners Wednesday as we highlight young persons who have been successful in sports. This morning, I am joined by
Dwayne Nurse, and yes, today is Winner Wednesday, and I am also joined by
Luke Trim, and yes, viewers, we are out of studio today to celebrate Winners Wednesday. So sit back, relax as we bring on our footballers to celebrate their wins. So what's been happening in this space, people?
I saw a lot. I saw a particular political public figure on TV6, doing the usual thing, the usual politics. That is my thing. I kind of will follow that for the stuff. But I'm also excited about Christmas. But I've not been seeing very much things happening for Christmas.
I have not been seeing any sorrel.
Oh yeah.
Where is the sorrel?
I don't know. Gone parang. But in light of what had happened just a couple of weeks ago with the flooding in Trinidad, it would have caused the lack of sorrel or shortage on the market for sorrel.
Most definitely.
So we might have to use Tanga and Tobo.
Exactly.
Because I know Tobo have the sorrel flavor.
The sorrel flavor.
Yeah.
It don't taste good. It don't taste good.
I wouldn't.
But we're gonna have to make do for the Christmas.
Yeah. But that's it for the banter. We have any news at all?
Yeah, so now we go over to Luke for news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Dwayne and Kaylee. This is your news in 90 seconds for Wednesday, the 21st of December 2022. Castara was chosen as one of the global communities to benefit from the United Nations World Tourism Organization's Best Tourism Village Upgrade Program. According to a press release from the Ministry of Tourism, Castara was one of the 3 villages in the country to apply to the UNWTO. The other 2 villages were Siparia and Lopino. The Best Tourism Village label is awarded to a community that is an outstanding example of rural tourism destination with recognized cultural and natural assets that preserves and promotes community-based values, products, and lifestyle, and has a clear commitment to sustainability in all its aspects. Many citizens will be eating bread and ham this Christmas without the traditional sorrel to wash it down. Only a few farmers were able to reap the crop this season. Sorrel farmers were affected by floods and adverse weather conditions over the past few months, destroying most of the crops. The scarcity of sorrel is also driving up prices throughout the country. Prepaid B-Mobile customers are being warned of increases to their plans coming in the new year. The increases will be applied to the prepaid data plans, pay-as-you-go plans, and rates for international calls. The company said it has been, quote, adversely affected by inflation, end quote, so it was, quote, forced to make changes, end quote. In a public advisory, it is said the 3-day 40 data plan will increase to a $49 3-day plan, totaling to $55.13 inclusive of VAT. Additionally, its 30-day $250 data plan will increase to a 30-day $239 plan, which becomes $268.88 with VAT. The cost of all other data plans will remain unchanged. I am Luke Trim, and this was your news in 90 seconds on the Tobago Updates Youth Morning Show. Back to you, Dwayne and Kaylee.
I don't know what to say about that news. I don't know what to say about that news. But,
I can say excellent job, Luke.
Thank you. I mean, the content of the news. My
The
plan.
B-Mobile part.
Yeah, what really
that
going
took
on?
me by surprise.
Thank God I'm at Digicel.
Yeah.
Sucks to be all.
I feel like switching over to the other
yeah,
side.
But I mean, I think they're two sides of the same coin. But it is what it is. We have to face the. But we go straight over to birthdays. We have 3 birthdays this morning. And I want to begin, and we will share all the birthdays equally because it's 3. Right? So I'll go first, if you don't mind. So first we have Mr. Maurice Melville, and this is birthday wishes is coming from your loving wife and family, the Melvilles and the Bronx, and all of your friends, wishing you a happy birthday.
And we also want to say happy birthday to Mr. Jesse Belfast, coming from the Tobago Updates family. Mr. Jesse Belfast was my form teacher at school, so I just want to send a very, very happy birthday to my form teacher, Mr. Belfast. Have an amazing one.
And last on our list, we send out happy birthday to Janelle Gray. Love coming from the family. I hope you enjoy today.
Alright, so that is it for birthdays. We go straight over to the rundown. And you want to do the rundown, you would like me to do the rundown? Alright, so first we have doing the first interview themed the under 15 and under 19 national champions. And our host this morning, our guest, is Ray Mitchell, Alexandra Stewart, and the team. Too long to mention, and Luke and my friend here, Kaylee Lewis, will be doing that interview. And our final interview will be done by yours truly. We will be doing the under 15 and under 19 national championship, and we have Donnie Stewart and Shadi Andrews coming to do that interview. So guys, that is it for the rundown. I hope you are poised and ready to listen to us and to hear those victories and those wins as we are celebrating
Winners Wednesday.
Winners Wednesday, WW. So remember to
share the live, share the live, share the live.
We'll be right back.
Welcome. It's Christmas time at Le Marge Parfait Day Spa.
And we invite you to indulge in a range of gift vouchers, gift packages, body pampering services, and more. We can even host your next spa party. With 2 branches conveniently located in Trinidad and Tobago, we look forward to making your experience beautifully unforgettable. Call us today or visit our website, elparfait.com.
Feliz Navidad. Bienvenido a Limas Parfait de Spa.
Spread Christmas joy and cheer with a loan from Lambo Credit Union this year. Get 100% financing for shopping, home renovations, furniture and appliances, debt consolidation and much more. Did we mention no payments until the end of January 2023? Get the most flexible repayment periods and the best interest rates around. Call 639-5060 to book your appointment today, or visit us on Facebook or Instagram. Wishing you a happy holiday from Lambo Credit Union. And remember, we are always here for you.
Level up for Christmas. Level up for Christmas. Level up for Christmas with Amplia. Level up for Christmas. Level up for Christmas. Level up for Christmas with Amplia.
Was a while before Christmas, and all through the land, people was putting away house with very little money in hand. They was painting and cleaning and doing their chores, but I went to hunt for deals at American stores. Deals on living and dining room sets, on fridges and stoves, beds and cabinets, on washers and dryers, small appliances cheap, even TVs and stereos, prices just can't be beat. So let's Christmas together at American stores. After all, what they tell me, anything could be yours.
Anything can be yours at American stores.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to the Youth Wednesday show here at Tobago Updates. Now, when it's nice, you win it twice. And today I'm joined by the Signal Hill Secondary School, the school where I would have attended sixth form.
Okay, so yes, as you could have said, we're joined by the Signal Hill Secondary School, and they are celebrating 2 wins this morning. They are the U15 champions as well as the Intercol champions. So can you all introduce yourselves this morning and tell us how you're feeling on this beautiful Wednesday morning?
Hi, good morning. My name is Miss Sian Blackman Walsh. I am the manager of both the under 19 and under 15 Signal Hill Secondary School girls football team. This I'll leave my feelings to some time after. Hi, my name is Naomi Wazop. I'm the captain of the national team. So today I'm playing it.
Yeah, pleasant morning. My name is Ray Mitchell. I'm the coach for the U15 and the under 20.
Hi, good morning. I'm Alexandra Stewart and I'm the captain for the U15 team. And this morning I'm feeling excited.
Nice. So winning twice in 1 week, what is the feeling in the camp for the captains? Winning twice in 1 week, how does that feel?
I think I'll ask Alexandria to answer that because she was a member of both the under 15
Wow.
So she's the captain of the under 15 team. She's also a member of the under 19 team, and she was also the MVP for the national intercol under 19.
Alexandria, big in the dance, girl.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from
Winning twice in 1 week, you would have won twice in a week. How does that feel?
Well, I'll ask Alexandria to answer that question because Alexandria was a member of both the under 15 and under 19 teams. She's the captain of the under 15 team. She's a member of the under 19 team, and she was also awarded the prize of most valuable player for the under 19 national intercol champs.
How do I feel? I'm elated, I'm excited, I'm proud. Honestly proud for everyone that the pressure we went through that week to wake up in the morning and train. It was a lot, but I'm happy, excited, yeah.
Okay, so you spoke about the pressure that you all would have had to go through, right? For the both of you, the both captains, the coach and the manager of the team, what are some of the challenges that you all face throughout the entire process? The training, the entire competition, the day of the finals, being able to get to that point of victory. What are some of the challenges that you faced previously?
One answer or me answer? Alright, I think I'll be the one to answer this. Well, the beginning of the season, we would have had to go through certain processes, but it wasn't forthcoming. So what had to happen was the girls we had to put them through some rigorous training. I gave them some exercises they had to do also. And I have to say thanks to the home of football. In that final week preparation, we were able to have some morning sessions. And I could tell you, one of the sessions, the Saturday morning before the intercol final, when I saw they perform, is the first time I see the girls work that hard. They understood that we had to get in the work to perform at our best. And I always told them that every performance must be better than the last one. And they did come true. And well, for the U15, they just spilled over because the majority of the team are U15. So that training and preparation, it went over to the national U15.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. That's really, really good. Now, manager. Okay, this is a girls' football team. You know, we would have observed the World Cup and everybody's so accustomed to the men playing. You know, being a woman, how is it managing a female team and motivating them throughout this entire process?
Well, first of all, as we speak about women's football, I would like to take this opportunity to first say that I do not find that enough attention is given to women's football across in the world, as well as in Trinidad and Tobago. However, I have spent a lot of time with these young ladies because I teach them. I am their teacher as well. So it was very easy for me to transition from being a teacher to being the manager of the team. The only thing is that for me, being with 19 to 20 girls for an entire week with 19 different personalities, it was a little bit challenging, but not much challenging, because I found that the girls' attitude, you saw that they wanted to win. Because when we left Tobago to play one championship to begin with, and we had to win that championship to get into the finals. So what we did, we told the girls, we pack in one time because we went in, and we staying for the finals one time. So we packed. So when we played on the Thursday and we won, we stayed over. Instead of going back to Tobago and come back to Trinidad to play the finals, we stayed one time to play the finals on Sunday, and we were successful. Now the young ladies are very hard-working, intelligent young ladies, and I really do enjoy working with them. With the assistance of my other two managers, Miss Ariana Miller and Miss Malvise Dalrymple, who would have spent 3 months, from July to December, with these young ladies, preparing them for this phase of their life. Right? And I must say that it was quite an enjoyable experience. It was quite memorable. The girls were very hardworking, and they really, really deserve the victories that they got.
Most definitely, and congratulations to you all again. Naomi, right? I haven't heard from you in a little bit. Can you tell us, as the captain, what was it like in terms of your experience having to motivate players? Because I could imagine at some point in time, some persons may be a little bit demotivated. You know, you're going to Trinidad to compete. What are some of the strategies, some of the things that you would have done to motivate the players on your team?
Well, as Miss said, some of the players have different personalities, so I learned everybody's personality, so it would be easier. But it was exciting working with them.
Okay, wonderful.
Great. Coach, now training this team, what are your expectations for the next season? What are your expectations for the steps moving forward with the team?
Well, we will retain all players for the next season, and the preparation is going to be a little bit different. We have certain things we have to work on, and we want to start as soon as January. You know, so we have certain routines. The athleticism, we want to work on that. Also, the football intelligence in the game, we want to work on that. So in the future, the preparation, I think we have it planned out. Me and my other coaches, I want to big up my other coaches, Coach Tyrone and Coach Mervyn and Coach Jaron. Yeah, so we're looking forward to January to start preparation for the defense of the title.
Great.
Okay, and as you have started, shouting out persons, who can you credit some of your success to? Persons who would have always been there to support you from the beginning, whether it's, staff, your parents, persons like that. I mean, we could get answers from everybody at this point, because I'm pretty sure that everybody would have had someone there in their corner all the time.
Well, my mother, I will give her a lot of credit, because the running back and forth to training, when she say there's a pop-up training today, we come in training. So yeah, my mother.
I would like to give credit to my mother also. She's always there at every game and always shows up to support. So yeah.
Well, as manager of the team, I will have a lot of people to thank. So I'm going to start by thanking Tiger Tanks. They sponsored our uniforms for this season. So big up you, Mr. Dennis Latif, and your company. I will also like to say thank you to the Division of Education, Research and Technology, as they were very instrumental in assisting in us getting all the things that we needed for the travel to Trinidad. I will also like to big up my staff at Signal Hill Secondary School. They would have been sending a lot of prayers and well wishes. Big up to my principal, Miss Arianda Bruford, Mr. Xavier, and my vice principal, Mr. Xavier King, for ensuring that the girls got everything that they need. To all the other persons who would have contributed like water to the teams, who would have contributed Gatorade. Big up to our alumni, our members of our alumni, Ms. Petal Benoit Daniel, and other members of the alumni executive. We want to say thank you to everyone, and thank you to God most and foremost for giving us the strength to endure the long tiring season.
I just want to say a final thanks to all the parents who endured sending the charges for the coaches, because we had to train every single day. I just want to say thanks to all the parents for that sacrifice you made with the girls.
All right, Captain, so this is your spotlight to put the coach and the manager on this spot. All this hard work has shown us want some type of spoiling, some type of getaway. So tell them what
we got that already.
Oh, well, tell us.
So they before we went to Trinidad, when we won Tobago zone, one of the players was like, so when we go to Trinidad, we have to get Popeyes or Burger King, right? So the second time we went to Trinidad, as soon as we left the airport, Miss and them went and they got the Popeyes, and that was our lunch. So we ate Popeyes for lunch. We got that already.
But that is just a mini motivator, but we are sure planning something. We have something in store. For the girls, I'm not going to give much details about it now because it's going to be a surprise to them, but they really deserve to be rewarded for their hard work. They have done really well for this season, and they really deserve to be rewarded accordingly.
Great.
Okay, most definitely representing Tobago well. So, I mean, talking about Popeyes and Burger King and that sort of thing, did you all have to make any changes in terms of your diet? And if you had to do that, how well did you adjust it? Were there persons at school, you know, Mrs. at school all the time, Miss saying, no buy the fried pie, no buy the fried chicken, certain things that you need to eat? What was that like?
This is something that we always struggling with all athletes in terms of their diet, and this is something that we need to work on. She would have mentioned Popeyes because that is something that we do not allow them to eat. So when they got the opportunity to really get to eat it, it's elating, it's something that they enjoyed. However, like when we went to Trinidad, what we did is that we provided a menu. We had a caterer, Nicosa's. Thank you to Nicosa's restaurant in Gulf City for providing our meals. We gave them our menu, what we wanted, when they will have their high carbs meal before the day before the game, or before the game, and then the high protein meals for replenishment and building back of the muscles after the meal. So we would have put things in place where we would have planned a menu I would have planned a menu along with the other members of the management team, in order for the girls to be well nourished. And they got their meals on time, you know, they were well prepared, well fed. I would say, I think they were a bit overfed because when they were finished and time to go back to Tobago, they don't want to go back. They wish that they could stay in Trinidad for some more time because they were well spoiled. They enjoyed themselves. They had a lot of fun, right? So meal planning is something that we need to pay a lot of focus on. It's the reason why we have so many students in the system with medical problems, diabetes and obesity and stuff like that. So across the entire sphere, and me being a physical education teacher as well, I know I would also advocate for us to pay special attention to what we eat, especially when you are in the sporting arena.
Thank you very much. So on behalf of Tobago Updates, I want to thank you all for joining us this morning. You know, we really enjoyed this interview, and I hope that as the coach and as the manager, you all continue to motivate these young ladies and captains. Keep on working hard, keep on training hard, and more successes. Now, here at Tobago Updates, we love to tell our viewers to share their life 3 times. So on 3, we're going to say share their life 3 times, okay? So 1, 2, 3. Share the life, share the life, share the life. We'll be right back.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
The Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection is moving to better serve you. Turn left onto Glen Road. Another left onto Montessori Drive. Welcome to the new location of the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection.
Never ever worry, don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry, if your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil will always be here for you.
Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Never ever worry, don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry, if your nice car get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil will always be here for you.
Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning,
Right, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We are celebrating Winners Wednesday, and we have another winner in the house. Well, representing a group of winners. And this morning we are discussing the Scarborough Secondary under 19 National Big Five Championship, or the champions thereof. And this morning we are chatting with
Shade Andrews.
Andy?
Coach Danny Stewart.
Right, so for those who may not know, this young lady here is the captain, and let's say coach, is the captain, and we have on my furthest right the coach for the team. I want to ask you, just tell the viewers your name again.
My name is Shade Andrews.
Right, and you go to Scarborough Secondary School.
Yes.
Right, and what form are you in?
I'm Form 5.
All right. So being, how does it feel, to be a champion?
Well, being a champion is great.
Yeah.
I love doing adrenaline running in my body. Of the win, the victory.
Yeah, I could feel it. Guys, this young lady told me that she had this covered. She had this covered this morning. But coach, what was the preparation like? Leading up to this win, to this victory.
Pleasant good morning, Tobago. The preparation was really, how to put it, trying, but it's just the hardest thing was to get the girls out to train.
And why was that?
Well, they have different classes because they're in Form 5. We have some have other obligations. So to get the whole team to train was really an issue. But whenever I got them, worked on find some technical aspects, and when we got the team together, that's when we really put the strategies and things in place from there.
Great. I want to ask you, what is your position? Are you striker? Are you representing Messi on the team? Or Mbappe? None of the above? We have to have a conversation about this. This cannot be right. But what is your position on the team?
Well, I play centre back.
Right. Also, you was the one defending them goals.
Yeah,
right. But what was that experience like? Being on the field, defending the goals, given that you are like the first line of defense.
Well, yeah. Well.
How was that like in terms of was it challenging? Did you feel a sense of pride?
I feel a little challenging because the way how if anything passing is up to the goalkeeper and the striker, so the pressure is really on because I really can't make mistakes a lot because it could cause goals.
Right, and being the captain, even more added pressure. How were you able to rally your team to this victory? Was it an easy feat in terms of getting them to listen, getting them to merge and gel together and things? What was that like?
It was kind of hard because the team have attitude problem, you could say, and it's just different
personalities,
personalities they're dealing with, and they don't know how to deal with your players and who and how to deal with them.
Right, but coach, I want to throw it over to you. Did you face that similar challenge where getting the ladies to gel, so that they could reflect on the on the playground?
Yes, well, I do both boys and girls there, so this is something as a coach, every coach has have to encounter different personalities, right? And in dealing with these personalities, you have to know how to intertwine them to make them into one strong rope, which can be strong when they go out to, when you pull on it, you know that they'll be strong. Right, so you just have to work on that psychological aspect, the mindset of the girls, having and not hurting anyone's feelings, making sure everybody's on the same wavelength, where you can get that maximum potential from each and every one, so the team can be performing at that high level.
Right, and given that you just mentioned you coach both girls and boys, do you see any difference? Did you have to make any adjustments for girls versus the boys?
Well, once you're coaching girls, girls are a lot more work than the boys, because the boys have a natural, kind of a natural ability towards the mobility and that kind of stuff. Girls, you just have to teach them how to run, teach them how to do everything, move their arms when they're running. Some of them run with the arms out pretty. You just have to cut them things out so you can have them running in that running passion.
So there's a lot of conditioning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a lot harder to have them getting into that mindset, and then you have to get the girls now in that way where they
that player winner spirit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Working with the mindset, getting them to know how to think the football and play the football at the same time. Right. So you just have to get into the minds. Because everything operates from up here.
I have one question before I to this lovely young lady here. Would you say that you have a natural, inkling for the football? What inspired you to get into football?
Well, I started off football in standard. And well, it was just to try out, and then I really get into it, know my abilities, and I really get into it. And it was Form 1 when I really started to take football serious. And well, I met up with Coach Danny, and he really improved
your skills,
everything. And
So were you instrumental in handing her the baton of coach of being captain?
Yes.
And why did you repose such confidence in her?
She has that ability. The girls pull to her. They listen to her.
Right.
They respect her. Right. And once you have those kind of qualities in a team, it's reasonably that team will pull to you. Whatever you say, they will respond. You wouldn't get no resistance and that kind of stuff because they know the kind of person you are.
Right.
I believe she did well for the whole season. The Tobago leg and the Trinidad leg, she did excellent.
Right.
The Big Five is a league.
Right.
It's a league format where you had to play all the schools in Tobago. And
how many? And I wanted to segue into that, but I gladly like how you just seamlessly went into answering my follow-up question. What is the big league? What is the
Big Five?
Big Five.
Yeah.
Is it just 5 games or just what is it? What does that entail?
Right. Well, the Big Five comes after the league format of the SSFL. Right. The league format is where it's set up, where all schools play in each zone.
Right.
You play all the schools in your zone.
Right.
And we played all the schools in our zone.
That was totaling how many schools?
There are 8 schools, so we played 7 matches.
Wow.
Yeah, 7 matches. We played 1 round.
Right. I know that Compre was just here. Were you able to successfully beat them?
Oh yes. Well, we won all our games in the league in Tobago.
Okay.
We won all our games in the league, and then we had also play a final against Compre because they came second. Right, and we also beat them in the stadium there as well.
And it's so good that we have both our schools from Tobago doing very well. Especially our girls. In this thing. I want to also ask, what was the most goals you guys scored, and against which team?
I believe we scored is 14 or 15.
They beat them so bad I can't even remember which school.
Against the Light and Life.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. And what was that experience like for you?
Well, for me, I was bored, really bored, and I did a lot of standing in the game because
you beats them and things.
When I get bored, I just beat.
Yeah, but you should have been the striker who ended up in the thing. But that's very, very, very good though. And what was the Trinidad experience like? How many schools in Trinidad did you guys have to play?
Well, we had to play semi-final, which was against Five Rivers Secondary. We won that game 2-1.
Okay.
Which progressed us to the finals to play Pleasantville Secondary, which we won that game in the finals 3-1.
And how many goals did you score against Pleasantville?
3-1.
3-1. And would you say that those 2 matches were some of your hardest and most challenging matches?
No.
Okay. But were there any challenges while you were playing at all? Any shortcomings that you think you might need to improve for your next stint at this game?
Well, I really don't face any challenges, but one challenge I have to work on is when I get bored. I get relaxed.
Yeah.
And when I get relaxed, I make mistakes.
Yeah, but as a centre back, you can't be.
Yeah, I can't make no mistakes.
You can't make no mistakes. All right. Well, perhaps you might need to negotiate with the coach to change your position sometime, so it could be a Messi on the field. And who's your favorite? Who's your idol? Your favorite football idol?
Van Dijk.
Van Dijk. And what club does he play for?
Liverpool.
And what in the World Cup, which team did he represent?
Netherlands.
All right. So were you impressed by his performance?
Yes. So he could have the better, but he
could have the better. So that you were supporting Netherlands or not Argentina?
Well, when Netherlands were knocked out, I went to Argentina.
Oh, you went to Argentina?
Yeah,
and Argentina's embraced you, and they didn't let down at all. No, not at all. So support Argentina next time. But anyway, Coach, I think it would be remiss of me if I don't ask. You know, we have this notion that our young ladies, in whatever sport, is not well represented. What would you say to that, and what do you think could be your suggestive remedy to ensure that our young ladies are well supported as much as our boys? Or are you of the view that our boys and our girls are equally supported?
No, I don't agree with that at all. I believe the boys get a lot more preference. The girls are in the back door, and they have them closed up. I believe they need to open up and invest. A lot of investment needs to take place into the women's aspect of the game. That starts from the top. The Trinidad, the TT Wolf, which is the women's arm of the TTFA, they need to step up and really open up the aspects, open up the forums, open up leagues, open up sessions for coaches, and get women more involved where they can display and show their talent, because there are a lot of girls out there who once they get into the program, they like it.
Right.
A lot of girls come into, because I have a club, and when they come to the club, they really don't like the football. As they get in, they grow to love it.
Right.
They grow to love it. So it's once you give them that avenue, and they see that they can get something out of that avenue, you will get girls pulled into it.
Right. And I wanted to ask you though about your training. Would you say that, and I will also throw the question to you, just so that you could give credence to what your coach is saying. But what is the training like? Would you say that it is rigorous enough to bring the best out of your girls?
Yes, I like to train. I train my girls just like boys.
Right.
I don't train them separately, and they know that.
Right.
They cry sometimes. They cry and school coming out their nose and things, but you just can't show them that softness. But it's just to have them in that grit, that tough,
that they could do it just as good.
That they can do it just as the same. Yes.
But was coach very hard on you guys? Like did he? You ever went to 40X? Listen. I went to 40X over the weekend, and it was literally on the chair. So do you think that the coach was a bit too hard on you, or would you say that the hardness and the grit of the rigorous training would have paid off?
In general, right?
In general, you could be honest.
Well, yeah, the training is a little hard. Well, except for the technical work.
Right.
The fitness, most girls on a whole don't like the fitness work.
Right.
But we have to do it.
Right.
Yeah, so apart from the fitness, yes.
I don't want to go over to the bigging up just yet, but who's your number one fan?
Mommy. Mommy.
Yeah, good. We got big shop just now. Coach, I want to go over to you to just give your final thank yous and big ups and shout outs.
On behalf of I want to talk on behalf of Scarborough Secondary School. I want to thank the principal, the teachers, the auxiliary staff that is in the establishment, the manager, Ms. King Holder. We also had our under 15 coach, Mr. Corbin. Want to thank him for filling in as well. Most importantly, we can't forget God.
Right.
Because without God, all these things may not come true or be possible. All right. I want to thank my wife for supporting I want to thank the parents, most importantly, for bringing out their girls, because if they don't bring them out, nothing can take place. Right? So, I'm just looking forward to another time, another session, another season, another experience, because this was my first experience with Scarborough Sec.
Really?
Yeah, first time.
Right. Well, congratulations, man.
First season with them, and I pulled this off, and I really looked at this as a big accomplishment. I'm looking for many, many more.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And anybody want to big up and shout out? You can shout out, mommy, too.
Well, first I want to thank God for guiding and protecting me through this league. It's the team players, obviously, you know. Without them, we would not be here. My parents, my family. If they don't come to the game, you know, they're watching me on the big screens. Miss King Holder, also Miss Gordon Holder, for managing the team very, very well. The principal, the students for all the support. And yeah.
So tell me something. Anybody from the team? Pick up your team now, man. Call some names. Call some names now, man.
Well, it have Chelisha, the big goal scorer. Shakira, who managing the midfield. It have Naomi, who always have my back in the back. It have, can't forget Chevelle, the big goalkeeper. Chevelle Williams. It have on the wings. It have Haley, Kalia, also a big goal scorer. A big goal scorer. It have Kelly. It have Makila. It have who else? Yeah, it have a lot more.
All right. So, guys, I want to thank you very much for coming. Alright, Coach, congratulations, my brother. Congrats, and you know, looking forward to seeing you even on the bigger stage, joining the likes of Yaya and those other big people on the. So encourage your team, continue to be captain in your own right, and all the best. Right.
But I think that she already started that. Because she has already played for the Trinidad and Tobago National under 17.
Big up you.
I don't know if you want to chime in and give you a little piece on that.
That'll be an interview for another time. So guys, thank you guys for joining us this morning, guys. This is the end of this interview, and you know how we just do it, Tobago update style, every morning, every Wednesday, every morning. Remember to? No man, you know, come on. Remember to
share the live, share the live, share the live.
We'll be right back.
Never stop, no, till we get enough. Yeah. Never stop, no, till we get enough.
Welcome. It's Christmas time at L'Image Parfait Day Spa.
And we invite you to indulge in a range of gift vouchers, gift packages, body pampering services, and more. We can even host your next spa party. With 2 branches conveniently located in Trinidad and Tobago, we look forward to making your experience beautifully unforgettable. Call us today or visit our website, elparfait.com.
Feliz Navidad. Bienvenido a L'Image Parfait Day Spa.
Spread Christmas joy and cheer with a loan from Lambo Credit Union this year. Get 100% financing for shopping, home renovations, furniture and appliances, debt consolidation, and much more.
Level up for Christmas. Level up for Christmas. Level up for Christmas with Amplia. Level up for Christmas. Level up for Christmas. Level up for Christmas with Amplia.
Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
And
welcome back, viewers, and we have reached the end of Youth Wednesdays here on Tobago Updates. Today we gave you a special call Winners Wednesdays, and I hope you all enjoyed it, guys.
Yeah, it was real vibes. I enjoyed my interview.
Yeah.
But my coach stick on me, man. He tell me and
The shade
the
alive.
Yeah, man. And you know you boasting out there that you know that is my thing. I want out. Coach, man. But anyway, I did enjoy it. What about you?
Yes, it was indeed a very, very good show this morning.
It
I
really was.
definitely enjoyed it. Winners Wednesday, you know, celebrating young persons in sports. Celebrating young persons is always a good thing,
It's
but young
always,
persons in sports in Tobago space are really
But
amazing.
Kaylee, what sports you just play?
None.
How are you?
I used to do martial arts. That's a sport.
Serious? Big up you. Big up
So,
you. Football is my thing.
Football.
I like football.
So you like football?
Not anymore. I don't
I
have
will
the
watch
time.
sports, but I don't play sports.
Alright, well, viewers, we have reached the end, like I said before, and I want to thank you all for joining us today. See you all next week. Don't go anywhere. We'll be heading over to Good Morning Tobago with Candice Jackson, but remember to
Share the life, share the life, share the life.
Let's raise a toast, and we are toasting to longevity, long life, good health, good family, a beautiful island, good home, good access points to your homes, and above all, support and love from family, friends, and the Tobago House of Assembly. Cheers. Hip, hip, hip.
Get there.
It is an honor to honor the elderly. The Bible says that we must honor our mothers and our fathers, that our days may be long on the land. And that extends beyond just mommy and daddy to the grandparents and the great-grandparents. In fact, my very presence here is because some grandmother and grandfather took time to nurture me. We could thank all the people on this island, but if we don't thank you for the role you have played in building this island, then we would have failed you, and would have failed miserably.
You are not just a beacon of the bygone past, but treasures of the present and examples for the future.
Only them businessmen could pay. They say that Christ is born on Christmas Day. They say it is a pagan's holiday.
Great, very great. I think it's one of the best things we had after the pandemic. It bring out a lot of people, a lot of my friends that I used to work with. I haven't seen them after I retire. So I was happy today to see them.
It was a great evening. This is a good evening, a great evening for the citizens. And this is something that you always look forward to at Christmas time. It normally has happened in villages, normal villages, village to village, but this year it just extends to everybody one time.
It was great, it was great. I enjoyed everything about it. Every single thing about it I enjoyed. When my family come in, so I feel big and proud. I said, look, my grandson. It was great. I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
And how did you enjoy it?
It was wonderful. It was wonderful with the blessing of the Lord.
Early Christmas morning, everybody busy doing something. Who went waiting is coming.
That was
Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denasia.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning.
Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region. With the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine, I am Candace Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds. Castaro was chosen as one of the global communities to benefit from the United Nations World Tourism Organization's Best Tourism Village Upgrade Program. According to a press release from the Ministry of Tourism, Castara was one of 3 villages in the country to apply to the UNWTO. The other 2 villages are Siparia and Lupino. The Best Village label is awarded to a community that is an outstanding example of a rural tourism destination with recognized cultural and natural assets that preserves and promotes community-based values, products, and lifestyles, and has a clear commitment to sustainability in all its aspects. Meanwhile, many citizens will be eating bread and ham this Christmas without the traditional sorrel to wash it down. Only a few farmers were able to reap the crop this season. Sorrel farmers were affected by floods and adverse weather conditions over the past few months, destroying most of the crops. The scarcity of sorrel is also driving up prices throughout the country. And nationally, prepaid B-Mobile customers are being warned of increases to their plans in the coming new year. The increases will be applied to prepaid data plans, pay-as-you-go plans, and rates for international calls. The company said it has been adversely affected by inflation, and it was forced to make the changes. In a public advisory, it said its 3-day $40 plan will increase to $49 for its 3-day plan, totaling $55.13 inclusive of VAT. Additionally, its 30-day $215 data plan will increase to a 30-day $239 plan, which becomes $268.88 with VAT. The cost of the other data plans will remain unchanged. And that was the news in 90 seconds. And well, viewers, so we have a jam-packed program for you today, and we're going to get things started off with some talking about the fishing industry. So we've been hearing a lot from the agricultural sector. We heard a lot from the farmers and agro-processors. We even had the Secretary for Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainability yesterday on the program with Chanel Phoenix, sorry. So we are continuing those discussions, but we are continuing those discussions along the line of fish. So none other than the president of the All Tobago Fisher Folk Association, Mr. Curtis Douglas. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning to you, and good morning to the wider public and to the world. I would like to send season greetings to everyone, to all the families and single and couples. You know, there's a time to share love. So from all Tobago Fisher folks, we send our love and our greetings and all best wishes to you all. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, Mr. Douglas, you've been quiet for the past few months, and we haven't really heard too much from the fishing industry. But we know that the fishing industry has encountered quite a lot of challenges. But how are things been?
Things are not the place where we would like it to be. It's a uphill struggle. Well, everyone, so in case who doesn't really know, for the last roughly 20 years, the fishing industry was struggling. We would have had to make a little bit of headway, but the struggle still is real, because, I just hope that, those that are in authority will understand the nature of a water well. The fishing industry is like a water well, where all the animals go and they drink and stuff. I said that to say the fishing industry in Tobago is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And not only that, when we talk about the fishing industry, we speak of something called food security. We need to start to secure our food stocks, because we will be able in the next couple year or two, we'll be competing with bigger boats, trawlers. So we have to make some drastic change now, because if we do not make that change now, we're going to get left behind. I mean, we have to think futuristic. We have to think where we're going to be in the fishing industry for the next 15, 20 years. And this is what ATFA comes in. We know where we would like to be, the place we like to be in the next 20 years. But we still have a lot of struggle. We have a struggle in sometime helping training. We would have done some training. We would have liked to at least train at least 80 fisher folks, young people, throughout the year, but unfortunately we were unable to meet that target due to financial restraint and assistance, you know, because what that does, let me just break it down for the listening public and the watching public, that when we train at least, let's say 80 or 50 young persons, whether male or female, because we have a lot of male and female kids in the industry. What we do, we make them employable, so that with the employable, with the training, they now would have been able to now get a captain license, get a seamanship, and be able to provide for the home instead of depending on the teacher. And that is one of the things that we are trying to nip in the bud. We want to get rid of this dependency of depending on the teacher. We want to make people self-sufficient, to be able to stand on their own. Don't let anybody control what you have to say. So when you have a remark to make, not because I am paying you, I have to watch my words. I don't, right? And this is what we have to encourage, and that is how democracy and independence is built. So that is part of our goal.
All right, and I know that recently you had some challenges with the tax, the gas rebates. How was that going? Are you guys getting that rebate?
Candice, is going.
It's going.
It's going.
What does that mean?
That means nothing has been done. Now, what happened, what we would have done, we would have ascertained that the gas rebate has not been adjusted over a decade.
Yes.
Right? So we were saying with the gas rebate, what Tobago needs to do is to develop a policy whereby instead of getting 20 cents on the liter, we was asking for something like 50 cents on a liter, so that the gas rebate gonna be sustainable. So with that, the THA will now be able to cushion that at least for the next 5 years, so that fisher folk could now start to build capacity. So what that would have done as well, it would have ensured that the price of fish stay under $35 a pound. Because with the gas rebate from the assistant from the THA, it will now trickle down, have a ripple effect to the man's plate in his house, to the man that is working day to day, depending on a day to day, and from the families that will be able to consume fish. So that would have been a very significant part in being able to control, right, and build capacity for the fishing industry. I was saying, I mean, we have a lot of challenges from administrative problem to fisheries, you know, I mean, no disrespect. Nigel Tate is trying his best, I must say. I must be fair. Nigel is trying, but it needs more.
In terms of more, what does that more entail?
It means more collaboration with the all Tobago fisher folk. Now, I mean, fisheries basically is to really do administrative work, right? We are fishermen, and that is where ATFA come in. We'll be able to point them in the right direction, work together to build Tobago, right, in the capacity, because we have the experience, we have the knowledge, and we have the skill. We have the skill set to take this from point A to Z, right? But for some reason, we are not having that type of cooperation, you know, the build, because not even the gas rebate alone can this. I mean, look, fishermen early up in the year would have experienced losses, heavy losses, through, they say, a naval ship. We would have had some commitment from the Chief Secretary that we would have met with the American Embassy or so. Up to now, we would have sent correspondence to him. No response. Right? Nothing up to now. We can't even have a meeting to discuss pertinent issues. Right? We don't really, ATFA don't really concern too much about the political aspect. We know he's the Chief Secretary, and we are counting on him to do what he said he's going to do, which is to handle Tobago's affairs and lead.
Now, I mean, with that in mind, how do you think, is it different? Is it different this PBA past year as opposed to the previous years when ADFA was very vocal? There was protests, there was press conferences quite very often about, just issues that they had in the division. Did anything change?
That's a very intelligent question, Candice, I must say. So I must say, in life, everything changes, right? For the past 20 years, it's been very difficult for the fishing industry or the fisher folk and ADFA, but we had a slight change. I wouldn't say it's a very advanced change. I would say, yes, it's been slight changes, but I know it's the first year for this administration. It is the first year. So, I mean, a child sometimes take, 6 to 7 months to walk. So we understand that. There's a slight change. There's a bit of a conversation between us, but no major changes as yet. I'm still hopeful that the powers to be will understand the nature of being able to provide security for the people of Tobago and by extension the Caribbean, right? But the changes, slight changes. I mean, people may say other things. So, I would have heard the Chief Secretary say he would have started the palliative building for the fisher folk and stuff like that. But even in that, there's challenges. But you see, it is very important when we build in Tobago, we must build it together. We mustn't sit down on the riverbank and bat out river, to be frank. But by the end of the day, we must have that change. I mean, we have in Plymouth, we have the Corland Bay. The route of the Great Corland River have changed its path, right? Yeah. So we would have some couple delinquent fisher folk who leave their boat with nails and stuff like that to damage people. So we have to treat it all of that. I mean, and we have to treat it the monument in the landslide in Plymouth next to the jetty. It is coming down. It is not coming down, it's coming down. So I'm not hearing anything about coastal protection to treat with this. I'm here to treat in Barbados and next part of Plymouth. But the monument is one of the key history landing sites for the landing of the colonists. These things we have to protect. I'm not hearing having a meeting with ATFA or the Plymouth Fisher Association about the jetty, what we're going to construct, what we all need to advance and build forward. Are we going to also create a cruise ship complex so that people... We are not in that conversation. But I guess the conversation is yet to be had, and we are very patient that that change would come, and we're very hopeful. If change doesn't come, I'm saying within the next year, within a couple of months, I mean, then ATFA will have to
agitate again.
Yeah, because we are not arguing because we like to make noise. When someone is upset, it's because something was done to upset them, right? And I'm saying to you, we need to have that change. We need to have that change, and we need to have that conversation in building Tobago forward. Candice, to all those who doesn't understand, we here right now are competing with Bajans that are fishing in our waters. In our waters, 5 miles. 5 miles, all you know is that? They're catching our flying fish. We actually would have advocated so that we could now be able, we are working on a plan so that we could now bring back the level of flying fish needed to help the people that's born flying fish, the people that sell flying fish, the people that process flying fish. We need to bring that back. So in order to do that, we need to listen to ADFA and take some of ADFA's strategic plans in moving forward to have sustainable fish and sustainable food security for our country. Now we need to start to drop fads throughout Tobago. Now it's ironic, I was speaking up with a friend from Barbados, and through that conversation I'm seeing Barbados is now doing what ADFA would have recommended. So why aren't we doing what we're supposed to do to protect our security, our people, and to feed our people? Everybody know, any nation that can feed your people is king. So these are some of the things that we are lacking, and these are some of the things we are looking forward to in moving forward for 2023.
Now, what about the price of fish? Because, of course, that really affects the man on the ground right now. And we're going into the Christmas season. Well, not we're going, we are in the Christmas season. But, I mean, what can we expect? Are we expecting any price increases coming soon? How are you guys treating with all the challenges that might affect the price of fish?
Well, as I said earlier on, you know, the gas rebate would have been a buffer or a cushion for that.
Yes.
And also, when we look at, we would have advocated for two big boats that fisher folk would have been able to go out to sea and stay a longer time, right? So that when we come in with our yield, we will have more than enough to feed our people and also to drive down the price of fish. This is known by the Chief Secretary, would have advocated. Well, I don't know if you have any financial constraint, but this was promised to him. So we was hoping that this year would be able to give us that opportunity so that, Candice, when we have the bigger boats, those guys that we would have been training, So every trip, we have something like 8 young men or women go out and have that training, that skill, that experience, right? So we have people coming from Palachafia, people come from Plymouth, people come from Castar, people come from Speyside, people come from Lambeau, right? To train on these boats. And with that now, with the yield coming now, we now could push the price at wholesale for $20 a pound. And also the retailers will be able, the consumers will be able to consume it for at least $25 a pound. And also having the vendors, right, registered through ATFA to buy the fish at $20 and to sell at $20 a pound. So when you go to the market or you go to any fishing facilities, for example, if you take Shore Park and make that a fish hub, we know when you go there, it's $20 a pound or $25 a pound for a pound of kingfish, a pound of grouper, or whatever. So we know we'll be able to control that. But until the conversation and the will to work with ATFA to ensure fish going to continue to be $35, and I'm hearing some men are calling to $40 a pound. I can't argue with them because nothing has been in place to ensure to sustain and to control that type of behavior, because that type of behavior will create a lot of people not being able to consume a very important staple in the diet, right? So hence the reason why you see we are trying to ascertain and trying to mold and trying to build that capacity in order building and driving a sustainable economy and also a sustainable food security for the island and be able to control that price of fish. Because price of fish in Tobago should be $25 a pound. With these process that we are moving, that we are navigating our way through a better and sustainable living, right? Is that we're trying to do. That we are trying to do. We are trying to do our part as Tobagonians to help Tobago.
Now, we had the chairman of TADCO recently saying that, the capital of Paradise has been doing well, and their intentions is to increase that in terms of get more vessels in similar to the capital of Paradise. Are you guys involved with that conversation and with that?
I'm not involved, and ATFA in the initial stage would have been involvement, but it have take its course. So we, as ATFA, really have no involvement. So anything that really take place with the capital of Paradise is not the doing of all Tobago fisher folk. All Tobago fisher folk is concerned about getting our own ships, because the idea of the capital of Paradise is supposed to be whereby they work along with all Tobago fisher folk, so that when they come in with the yield, the bycatch come to all Tobago fisher folks, and then we sell these bycatch to certain vendors, so that the vendors will now be able to drive down the price of the fish from $35. So we sell wholesale to the vendors either $18, and they would be able to send back for at least $25 or $23 a pound. That wasn't done. So the capital of Paradise, we have no authority over the capital of Paradise. Or the only authority we have is over ATFA and the building of ATFA and Tobago. Mr. Alfred and I, we are pretty good, but there's nothing I could say about pertaining the capital of paradise and how they conduct their day-to-day business. I do not know who is the one that benefits from the capital of paradise. I don't know if it's a THA. I don't know if it's any private. I don't know. All I could say is that when the capital of paradise came on board and refurbished, we was hoping that the bycatch would have been able to come to ATFA and we would have been able to have vendors set up in a structured manner to get these bycatch so that the people could have a sustainable price, affordable price for fish.
And then I know that the bycatch is actually coming. It's still coming into Tobago, but it's going into the school feeding system. So,
Candice, I mean,
I'm guessing you don't agree with that.
That is rubbish, man. Look, let me just say this, yeah? The capital of paradise will bycatch going to school system. The people and them who is catering for the school system have to pay. That is more than enough bycatch, right? That was not initiated in the first place. So when you come and say they would have, you must ask them if they have sent it to any vendors. Ask them when they're saying it going into the school feeding program. I mean, it's not a bad idea, but the same school feeding program have to purchase it. At what price the school feeding programs are purchasing this bycatch? And that is important. What price? Is it $10 a pound? Or is it 35 or 30? We are clueless. Don't tell me not about no school feeding program. Tell me them rubbish. Let it come with something better than that.
Well, for 2023, what are some of the things that you're hoping to come out for the fishing industry? What are the things that you want to see?
Right. The 2023, we are hoping that we can be able to get our boats so that we could really train fisher folks and be able to lower the price of the fish. We could be able to get the gas rebate. We could also get more training for the fisher folks to be able to be sustainable so that we can operate whether international or even local. Because now what is coming on board, what we will see coming on board is that all fishermen in Tobago will now have to get their captain license. So there will be an exam. There will be an exam, a multiple choice exam. That was the last consultation that we would have had, the multiple exam, so that they will be able to get their captain license so that they will be certified, right? And we are also hoping that we'll not only be able to drive down the fish price, we'll be able to have also meetings with these oil companies that was promised, that never came off. We'll also expect the fisher folk that property was damaged to be compensated. We expected facilities will be able to build a proper training facilities managed by ATFA. And we will also like to see all of these fishing facilities are managed by ATFA and the organizations. We need that responsibility to show that we are responsible. So that partnership with the THA and the fisheries department, we expect that. We are looking forward for that. And we are also looking forward to have more youths involved. As we see, there's a growing number of youths interested in Plymouth and Palatavere in getting in the fish industry to make the entrepreneurs not dependent and also to contribute to taking that burden off of the THA to make them self-sufficient. And better communication with the chief and his team, right? Proper communication. And a list, we have a whole list of other things that we would like to see done. And as we said, we are not only looking podcasting for only 2023. We are looking for at least 10 years along the road that what could be able. And we also expect Tobago to fight for autonomy. Because I'm just saying this to you, right now, I have at least 15 boats that is in Trinidad right now from Plymouth, Southwest, and Castara. When I say Trinidad, 5 nautical miles, 5 miles. After you pass that 5 miles, you know you're in Trinidad. You're no longer in Tobago. So we want that conversation to define that, right? So that we understand. Because, I mean, these are things, little things. We expect to get our set net, all of these things so that we could be able to ascertain bait. And we also have what you call a 5.0 plan, where we are now embarking on looking at see how best we could do a saltwater farming so that we can be able to control that fish stock that we have. And also, we would have made some requests to have proper data collected so we will know what type of fish stocks we have, what species of fish we have, if they're declining and decaying. So there is an initiative by Shell, right, to ensure that that data is properly collected, because the data that the fisheries is collecting right now is not clean, right? It's not clean. We need clean data to know what are our contribution to the GDP of Tobago, so that when Mr. Farley or whoever it may be, right, goes and present a budget, it will state quite clearly X, Y, Z, and we have the data to back it up. So we have an agreement, right, to have. So we are here to work with everybody and anybody that's willing to build Tobago. I mean, I'm not saying Mr. Chavez and his team, I want to make it clear, is wicked or malice or whatever. I mean, we are all human beings, and I believe we all have Tobago in heart. But sometimes we all make mistakes. I make mistakes, everybody make mistakes, but it's how we treat after that mistake, and how we treat when people speak like this and let people know the truth about what is going on. They are not victimized or stigmatized or painted in a certain color, but listen to the complaint and let's see how we could treat it in moving forward in a better organized and respectable manner in moving forward. Because by the end of the day, Candice, Tobago belongs to us. Tobago belongs to all of us. And when I see Tobago, I doesn't see no red, no black, no white. I see us, all of us. And we have to do our best to ensure, protect, and to make sure that Tobago, people, and the island is sustainable for futuristic goals and aspiration in moving forward in building Tobago.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Douglas, for being on with us. Our viewers, well, there you have it. Just the perspective from the fishing industry from the president of the All Tobago Fisher Folk Association. All right. So we're going to go take a quick break. And when we come back, we continue our discussions. See you then.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your life can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Along the lines of agriculture, and we are speaking with the former head of the Tobago Agricultural Society, none other than Mr. Didan Daniel. Good morning and welcome to you, sir.
Hello, good morning, Candice, and good morning to your viewers as well.
All right, so we had quite a lot to digest in the past couple of weeks, especially when it comes to agriculture and what has been done, what hasn't been done. You know, what are your perspectives on this past year?
Well, this has been a year of challenge challenges for the agriculture sector like no other year, like every other year since we became an independent country. We have been plagued by different type of challenges. We also have been blessed by certain type of opportunities that are happening within the space to give the industry a positive outlook. I was first start about the positive. We've seen certain things in terms of market development, in terms of the value-added production. It provides an impetus for farmers to be able to contribute towards the production of these goods. We've seen that, different things happen, more training, capacity building, all these things in the industry development realm. We also deal with the challenges, and particularly the weather. This year has been particularly bad, right? I heard you earlier mention that you can't find sorrel. You can't find a lot of the leafy greens as well. Tomato prices out of the roof.
And just stick up in there, like exactly how badly was Tobago affected by the adverse weather conditions?
Well, the evidence is in what you see on the grocery shelves, right? And the prices that you have to pay for these scarce supplies that remains, right? The weather has been, when you talk to farmers, they tell you that stuff that was on the ground was negatively affected in terms of production, wipe out your crops and so on. But the positive out of that, if ever there was an impetus for us to start to consider seriously undercover production for agriculture in greenhouses and so on, the time is now. The weather has given us the signs, so we need to go in that direction.
And are we thinking in that direction? Are we thinking along those lines?
Yes, certainly. From the evidence, people are thinking along the lines, but that comes with some challenge. The upfront startup cost for undercover production is a bit high. I'm thinking if the players in the industry cooperate, whether it be financing mechanism and so on, to try to lower the cost over a certain period of time, then we could incorporate more undercover production.
Now, I want to get your take on just an issue that has sort of plagued the news cycle in the past couple of weeks, and that is the use of, Trinidad companies to help with the processing of, just goods in Tobago. Now, what are your views on that? Like, how do you, are you in support? Are you in disagreement? After listening to all sides of that argument.
But I have mixed views on it.
Okay.
First and foremost, I would think that it would be best, optimal, for that we have ingrown production in terms of the producing value-added agriculture products. The reality is that the sector isn't quite there yet, right? So a lot needs to be done to build up the agro-processing sector. New policies need to be implemented to do that, as well as the fact that you have to do something because you need to satisfy consumer demand. So using outside suppliers, I'm trusting that is used as an opportunity to learn some valuable lessons, to understand the technology that play within the sector, and so that knowledge can be transferred to indigenous homegrown processors so that they'll up their game, right? And be able to do that. But ideally, I would have preferred a situation where most of these products were produced locally so that it expands the agricultural industry.
Now, we had a situation where, we have a facility constructed, but we saw that there was no equipment, it was not ready, there was so much construction deficiency. There's a whole lot of questions. Were you at all involved in that process? Do you have any knowledge of when that facility was going to be constructed?
No, the first time I've heard about it, I saw a clip some time ago when the former chairman and the former chief secretary turned this out to start the facility, right? And I haven't heard anything about it until I saw it being displayed on the media a couple of days ago, right? The intention, I'm certain, was good in terms of having that facility because, like I mentioned earlier, we need to have a lot of these type of production homegrown, right? Because what it does for the sector in general. We have a facility with no, I didn't see any equipment or anything like that, but therein lies an opportunity to continue the work that has been done, right? Because it's public money spent for it, even at the stage of unreadiness, and be able to start to produce these things home, right? Because we have a lot of skilled people in food technology who have experience in the agro-processing sectors who would like to have their skills be employed in a facility like that and to have products being produced here. So I would hope that the regime in power now would assess the situation that it is right now, understand what is needed to bring the facility, which I am certain was done with all the best of intentions, to get it to a point where we could actually produce stuff. Right? There's no sense in lamenting what has gone bad. As Jack wanna say, yesterday was yesterday and today is today. So let's deal with today.
Oh wow, okay. And now looking at this past year, we saw there was a lot of effort made in terms of meeting with the farmers.
Yes.
They had a lot of consultations, and I think there's some more happening this week. You know, do you see any change coming out of those consultations? Is it making a positive or a negative impact on the progress of agriculture in Tobago?
I think it's making progress. I like to think positive about these things. For us to move forward as an industry, we need to understand each other. And consultations, meaningful consultation, plays a vital role in making that happen, right? Because there's so much linkages in agriculture, so much, right? That we all need to be talking, understand each other, and basically operating from the same hymn sheet, in the same key. You know, so that we know there is harmony within the industry and everybody works in a kind of interdependent fashion.
Now, TADCO has been tasked with the responsibility of sort of, you know, bringing together all those linkages and, you know, getting the produce from the farmers to the agro-processors and then out to the markets.
Yes.
Is that happening, or has that process started? Is that starting to come together in a good way?
Well, I can't speak specifically to TADCO, but I could only move on the evidence I see on the plate, right? Yes, you're seeing a lot more of the alternative flowers on the market, all be quite expensive, real expensive. You're seeing that we're seeing different evidence of different initiatives. I've heard about the poultry initiatives. Persons would have approached me in my private capacity to do business plans to be able to take advantage of the industry, right? Because we consume a lot of chicken in this country and in Tobago in particular.
Yes, we do.
Yes, and so there's a huge market there for the chicken. We are big pork eaters as well. So, and yes, we're seeing some positive development with the contract farming model that is being rolled out. My thing is that we understand what the model entails, build our capacity to be able to satisfy demand with it and get into the industry. There's room for everyone, you know, get public health involved, make sure that there's good community linkages, your markets are in place with the hotels and restaurants and so on. Let's work on our issues as it relates to consistency in quality and quantity. Once we do those things, the market will start to flourish.
And what about the views of the farmers themselves? How do they feel about, you know, all these things that have happened this year? Are they in support? Do they feel comfortable? Do they feel like their voices are really being heard?
Well, from the feedback I got from some farmers, a lot of them appreciate the consultations, right? But you have to balance that with the apathy that has been developed over the years, because there have been consultation upon consultation upon consultation. And then the resultant factor of that hasn't always played out good for the farmers, right? So they come into that process while hopeful with a certain level of apathy, right? And so we need to balance that. So the approach in the consultation really has to be meaningful, it has to be genuine, it needs to be authentic. And at the end of the day, you need to see the evidence of what all the consultation was about. So that is orders for products, consistent orders, paying them on time so that they could supplement their income or build their income and support their families and spend money within the communities and build the overall economy. Once that happening, all those things that went before was well placed. You know?
There are some views, well, I've been hearing some views that TADCO might be competing with farmers. Do you agree or disagree?
To some extent, I agree. One of the issues I have as a taxpayer, as a person in the agricultural industry, in the business development, is a concern I've always had in this current incarnation of TADCO. In the previous one, I've always had an issue with using taxpayers' money to compete against taxpayers, right?
And explain exactly how that competition is coming about.
Let's say I am a pork producer, and for whatever reason, I don't want to be involved in that scenario. I have to face this situation if I choose to be independent, that independent is a loaded word these days. If I choose to be independent, it means therefore that I am meeting up with all the resources of a larger entity and so on. Now I understand, I've heard that the TATCO model is supposed to be competitive and also be profit driven, right? What I think, and I think there are some efforts in that regards, and this is my own personal view, is that a balance is supposed to be struck between the profit motive and industry development. Because one of the benefits of the profit motives, I'm one of those persons who don't believe that we should create state enterprises to lose taxpayers' money.
Certainly.
Right? So the balance between losing taxpayers' money, wasting it, and competing, a balance had to be struck there. And that is a very delicate balance. How would they get to that sweet spot? That is for them. Well, what I'm pointing out, that balance is supposed to be struck, right? So, yes, we want competition that could help other players to up their game, but at the same time, you know, like I said, that balance has to be struck. Don't waste your money, but at the same time, don't do it so aggressive that you're competing against me, you're in my face, that kind of thing. So, Ricardo and Chaps, you all have your work cut out for you. I watch it out there.
I mean,
And I'm encouraging you all too.
No, I mean, one thing that TATCO has stated, at least on this program, and a couple of times, that they rather compete on the international stage. So most of the stuff, like in terms of like the waffle mixes and things that we're seeing that are produced here by agro-processors from Tobago, they are going out internationally, and they're leaving the space for those local flour makers and things like that to do their own things and to sell within the space.
I quite like that. One of the things that I would like them to do also, because if you sell through the, like say, the hotel value chain, especially to foreigners, you're involved in exports, right? Second-hand invisible trade. Is that a couple of days ago I was to one of those hotels and I saw the waffles and so on, and it didn't have plantain flour or dasheen flour or yam flour or nothing like that. Pure old wheat flour, right? Things like that needs to change, right? There's a huge captive market on the ground, and I think we should penetrate those markets and like the approach of TATCO of really going to the international market and leave the market space, because especially in Tobago, it is quite finite, right? It would ask 100 Tobagonians when they eat if waffle is a normal staple, and they will tell you no. It's that kind of thing. So for the little space that exists, leave it for a private person, you know? Yeah.
All right. And then in terms of just being able to operate within a space, we saw equipment being bought recently, excavators, trucks, etc., to help support tractor pool initiatives and whatnot. Has that happened? Have there been an improvement?
Well, you know, TATCO is, not TATCO. TATCO is on my mind a lot. Tractor pool, oh my God. About 11 years ago, I paid for some land to do, and I'm still waiting. A house on the property now. So, tractor pool, thanks, but no thanks. But I see it as a positive sign that those equipment, I saw the equipment myself. I understand that they will make a huge impact. Some certain things I would like to see happen, that they have a proper maintenance schedule for those equipment, that they properly train the workers to operate those equipment properly so that they don't have too much downtime. I understand the issue now is insurance and getting permission from the transport board. You know, you can't just move heavy equipment and you just like a car, you know. So once those kinks are worked out, and the dry season comes on board, because you know you can't do it during the wet season. When that comes up, I would like to see those equipment on farm plots doing the necessary land preparation to really try to boost your agriculture.
All right, great. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to 2023 as we wrap up this conversation. What are you hoping to see? What realistic things can we see in 2023 for the agriculture sector?
What I'm hoping to see is that we're a lot more productive in our agricultural pursuits. There's a saying that you can't be all things to all men. And I would just like us to have some focus on some of the key commodities that we do produce on the island and focus on producing those, right? Those things that make up a significant part of our diet. We produce it locally, and we encourage people to consume much more of our local produce and stop this colonization of our diets and start to eat it healthier and eat local, support the farmer. Because when you support a farmer, when that farm income comes in, it helps to support tuition, extracurricular activities, to buy the things that circulate within the economy instead of leaving one time. And it helps to stimulate the economy because we all eat and we all make that impact on the economy. So I would really like to see we incorporate new technology in agriculture. Again, we talk about what the rain did this year, and it's showing us that is a sign from the gods that we need to do undercover production and that we raise our food sovereignty and nutrition security on the island big time, because it has been lagging for quite a number of years. Yes, there's effort to improve it, but I'm hoping that those efforts comes to fruition in the oncoming year.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Dida and Daniel, for giving us your perspective on the agriculture sector. Yes. And I mean, certainly we're looking forward to some good things happening pretty soon. All right, viewers, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll continue with our conversation.
Okay, great. Thank you.
My phone ringing.
Welcome. It's Christmas time at Le Marge Parfait Day Spa.
And we invite you to indulge in a range of gift vouchers, gift packages, body pampering services, and more. We can even host your next spa party. With 2 branches conveniently located in Trinidad and Tobago, we look forward to making your experience beautifully unforgettable. Call us today or visit our website, elparfait.com.
Feliz Navidad. Bienvenido a Limas Parfait de Spa.
Spread Christmas joy and cheer with a loan from Lambo Credit Union this year. Get 100% financing for shopping, home renovations, furniture and appliances, debt consolidation, and much more. Did we mention no payments until the end of January 2023? Get the most flexible repayment periods and the best interest rates around. Call 639-5060 to book your appointment today. Or visit us on Facebook or Instagram. Wishing you a happy holiday from Lambo Credit Union. And remember, we are always here for you.
Was a while before Christmas, and all through the land, people was putting away house with very little money in hand. They was painting and cleaning and doing their chores, but I went to hunt for deals at American stores. Deals on living and dining room sets, on fridges and stoves, beds and cabinets, on washers and dryers, small appliances cheap, even TVs and stereos, prices just can't be beat. So let's Christmas together at American stores. After all, what they tell me, anything could be yours.
Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Advertise with Tobago Updates. Call 284-6597. If you have a small or large business, we can get your information in front of the masses. Reach our rapidly growing viewership on Facebook and YouTube. Promote your brand in Trinidad and the Caribbean through M&E TV Now and Gayel. Yes, we can build unique ads for your business. Call now 284-6597 and advertise with us.
Tobago Updates.
Just
Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denise here.
Let's go, go. It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks.
Good morning, Tobago on Tobago Updates. And yes, viewers, we are continuing our conversations on the year in review. We're just having a look. I mean, we got just what, about a week or so, a week and a half left of the new year. Christmas is this weekend. It's on Sunday, you know. So I mean, we've got a lot to look back on. It's been a very interesting year. So to speak to us a little bit, we're moving away from agriculture and we're moving into tourism a little bit. And we are chatting with none other than Mr. Alvin Douglas from Frontier Divers. Good morning and welcome to you, sir.
Morning, Candice. Morning to your viewers. Morning to Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago.
Great. So this year has been an interesting year. We came out of the pandemic and we're starting to get things, well, things have started back on the island. Tourists have been coming back. Has that been making an impact on tourism businesses on the ground?
Yes, it has. Any tourism business that, any business in the tourism sector that survived the pandemic on this end and is still alive, that's a plus because it's been devastating. We all know it's been devastating to the tourism industry. My sector was closed for 2 years, straight 2 years. So so it has been, and surprisingly, my initial views is that surprisingly people are still hungry to travel. People are still hungry to get to the island, to see what Tobago has to offer. And I am now at a mindset where I need to up my game to stay competitive, as opposed to trying to survive or sell whatever I have and go into something else. You know, just a year ago I was saying, well, wait a minute, this tourism thing ain't working. But now I'm excited again. I'm excited for Tobago.
So I mean, you said you're excited for Tobago. I want you to explain a little bit about what is fueling that excitement. Like, what do you see coming for Tobago, especially in 2023?
Well, the first thing is the reviews. We've been getting a lot of bookings for people to get to the island, and we're not talking local. We know our brothers and sisters in Trinidad always support us. We're talking internationally. We're talking on the American market, the UK market. You know, tourism is something where tourism is affected by everything, weather, politics, wars, you know, crime, and you would think that people would not want to move around as much, but we've been getting a lot of interest to come to the island. And then for the couple of shows that we've done in collaboration with Tital, the interest is there for Tobago, because Tobago is still a new kid on the block when it comes to our sector, at least in the marine sector. Tobago is still a new kid on the block. And they want something new, they want something unique, they want something different, they want something safe. And Tobago has that to offer. So I am excited for it.
Now, we're seeing that a number of marine-based companies or businesses, I should say, have been getting the Blue Flag certifications and so on. What is that doing for our sector?
What is the recognition of having international standard is great. It just means that the market is going to open up for us, because more than anything else, people research the islands before they get here. And you'll be surprised the small things that will turn people off. Like, for instance, if you have the difference between a 2-stroke engine and a 4-stroke engine. 4-stroke engine is more environmentally sensitive. So you saying to yourself that you have a Blue Flag status means that you've gotten to the level where you recognize the environment, you recognize that, listen, you need to make sure you struck that balance of making sure that you are part of the industry, but you are recognizing that the environment is one where you have to you have to protect. And that's a plus, because more than anything else, Tobago is a destination where environmentalists seek that niche, the people who appreciate the environment is going to come to Tobago, regardless of all the stresses that come to Tobago, regardless of sleeping in Trinidad or long flights or the expense. The niches will come to Tobago. And the people who are environmentally sensitive love the island.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to stay environmentally conscious. We have to make sure the world knows that, listen, we are going to protect our environment, because the environment is our tourism, our main tourism product.
Yes.
Okay? And so we need to protect it. Yeah? So once you say that, you have industries coming out and say, listen, we have blue flag status here, we have Man of the Biosphere
green
award,
certifications and so on.
Yeah, all these things, it says it augurs well to our product. We cannot deviate from that. We will be tempted to build a lavish hotel on the coast, but what are we going to give up for that? Are we going to give up the environment, the very set thing that put us on the map? We'll be tempted to do it, but we have to stay the course. And we have examples all over the island. We have examples. We're not reinventing the wheel. We have places where they lean towards the environment, making sure the environment is safe. And that is what markets their tourism.
No, I mean, as you pointed out, there's so many things affecting tourism. Whether it's war, whether it's, coming the challenges of the pandemic, because to face it, the world is still very challenged by what happened over the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, just all other things. How is that impacting where our tourists are coming from? Or has it impacted where our tourists are coming from?
I haven't seen a change in, we haven't had a lot of the Europeans. They usually come over. But surprisingly, the Americans are showing a lot of interest. Before the pandemic, Canadians were coming back, and to me, that's surprising, because we are so far south. Okay, so to see them want to travel this far to come to the island, and it's expensive.
And but that's a change in the mindset of the visitors.
That is a change. That is a change.
So, and then, what do you think might have impacted the change? Well, us seeing less Europeans coming here.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is what's going on in Europe, the war and all these things that is going on in that part of the world. It's sad. People are holding their purse close to them, and there are parts of the world that are a lot cheaper for the Europeans to travel into Tobago. So we have to lean towards the niche market, because people who are the bird watchers, the divers, the environmentalists, even if it's expensive, even if they have to overnight in the hotel, they will come, because you're tapping into their passion. Okay? You're not looking for the general tourists, you're looking for the people who have a specific interest. Okay? And that's how we're going to stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
And do you think enough of our tourism-based businesses are catching on to that?
Yeah, well, I know that in marine sector.
The marine sector is?
The marine sector would know that. They will know that. They know that if you don't protect this product, the marine sector, then it's going to die. I think, unfortunately, a lot of the things that happen in our space are not controlled by us. Okay, because even before the pandemic, we've been advocating for a lot of things to protect our environment and to upgrade our service. But we could only advocate. The good thing is that I think that the entity that we deal with, TTAL, is listening. They are listening, and we still yet to have them get the powers to do things like make sure that we have a slipway, a jetty, and put moorings so that people don't anchor on the reef and all these things, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have to do some more protection of the environment. This very set thing that has given us this type, but winning all these awards, it's not, you can't just dress back and think that it's natural. You have to work to protect it now.
And work to keep it.
And work to keep it.
Now, what about I want to talk a little bit about our marine sector, especially in Southwest Tobago. I mean, a lot of the visitors, when they come here, you hear Buku Reef, they want to go Nyland Pool. What can you tell us about the health of it at this point in time?
You know, I yesterday, what was it yesterday? Day before yesterday. We had a cruise ship yesterday, right?
Yes.
Yes.
No, Monday.
Monday. We had a cruise ship Monday. And the cruise ships, they flocked to the Buku Reef area. They flocked to and when you look across from the Gibson Jetty, it looks like a party scene because everybody is in that area. And it's so sad to see that enough is not being done to protect that area, because even during the COVID, even during the lockdown, we had to deliberately lock down the Buku Reef area because people were still coming to go to that area. Okay? And it is dying. It is being stressed. I work closely with the Institute of Marine Affairs also.
Yes.
And some of the stresses we cannot, we have no control over. But there
and
are
that's
some
specifically the climate change and the rise in sea temperatures causing the coral bleaching.
Yes.
But because coral bleaching is happening in our reefs at this point in time.
Yeah, there's coral bleaching that occurred a few months ago. Because the water was so warm, they were a little bit of bleaching. But there are some things that we can do. Like we can protect the wetlands. Like we could protect the mangrove. We could put rules and regulation in place to not have people anchor in certain places. Make sure that a yachty that comes in have a black water tank. There's things that we could do. Again, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're just putting things in place to protect our own, protect the industry. So very soon, for the landlubber, for the people, and I wouldn't say like I said because you are a certified diver now, so you know what on it. But for the people who just want to take a peek at there, they are seeing a fraction of what it was because it's all gray, and it run because we're not protecting the coastline, we're not protecting the mangrove, the wetland, the natural filtration system. So all the muck just runs onto the Buku Reef and destroys it. The seagrass, the reason why we're having so much of a seagrass is because the Buku Reef area is now almost fresh water, and there's so much nutrients that's pouring. The nutrients you would think is a good thing, but too much nutrients.
And too much nutrients is, affecting what nice sandy area you can have on an island pool.
That's right. Now the Nyland pool is disappearing, so you have the seagrass that is coming up, and the seagrass, and again, is a balance because you know what? You start to see a lot of turtles coming into the Buku Reef area. You know, and in the coast, the tourists, they love to see the turtles, but at the same time, you have that nice white sand that people come here for.
That you like to rub into your skin.
That's right. It's been destroyed because you have all that nutrients coming in, and the seagrass is covering that. So we've lost. I think that we've lost almost 50% of the nylon pool right now.
Wow.
We've lost almost 50% of the nylon pool, and it's because we're destroying the natural filtration system, i.e. the wetlands and the mangrove that filters the nutrients that come from the land.
So those, and then when you look at Buku Reef, the Nyland Pool, that is what Tobago is known for. Yeah, so in essence, we are destroying our own tourism product.
Yeah, when nobody comes into my business, people go straight onto these glass bottom boats. They want to go out there. That is the product that we need. We already have it, and that's the unique thing about Tobago. So protect the industry, also enhance it. Yeah, enhance it, make it an international standard. Make sure that the players that is there adhere to that international standard. That blue flag is a fantastic initiative to have, okay? But it is still too much like the wild, wild west out there. Yeah, there's very little control out there in the marine sector and the whole. You know?
I mean, and then what did it really take to get that under control? And I mean, and of course, we're speaking here about the hustlers. The hustlers on the reef, the ones that the minute that you drive in front of their face, they they come after you.
I tell you, I am tempted to do this. I don't know what to do anymore because for years, I tell you, literally years, if I tell you 15, 20 years, I've always been on committees. We have to do the hard things, and you have to, you see, you can't make everybody smile.
So you basically have to be prepared to get them upset.
They're going to be upset because you're giving them something that, okay, you're restricting their movement. Because I would tell you, the glass bottom boat industry, and I'm not speaking for them, I'm just speaking because I've been there for 20, 30 years. It was born because you have people on the beachfront and you say, well, okay, go ahead, we wouldn't tax you, go ahead and make a little living. But now it is a full-fledged industry. It's a driving force in the industry. And also it affects that unique protected area that we have. So you have to now come in and govern that space and regulate that space for their benefit. It's for their benefit, okay? They've done a good job for the past 30 years as for safety and all these things. But still, if it is that Tita's plan work materialize and more people start to come to Tobago, okay, then you're gonna stress what is already stressed. So you have to put it in place now. You know, you have to put it in place now. Yeah, it's difficult. The thing is, no tourism product at work is natural. There's always players behind the scene, behind the curtains. When people come to the island, they see a production, they see a play, they sit and they look at a play, okay? But the actors, they have screenwriters, they have directors, they have producers, they have makeup artists, they have people in the background that makes everything look beautiful. Tobago now is lacking that. We have to now make sure that behind the scenes, we make sure that we have things in place to make sure that, because tourism is about showing off your product, okay?
Yes.
Movement of people and showing off your island. We have to make sure that the production that we present to the international and the local people are well played out by making sure you have the producers and the directors and the screenwriters out there. The police, all the other sectors that make Tobago function has to be efficient in order for the tourism sector to work.
Now, are we seeing that, I want to talk about the diving industry specifically a bit, because of course that's your niche. So are we seeing hope coming in 2023 for a revival of the dive industry?
Yeah, I think so. I was quite pleased by the last show that we attended, and we had a lot of interest on the island, for the island of Tobago. We have big players, the Caradonas, and they come and we had meetings with them. And the good thing is that Tita's representatives were very inclusive. And when I say inclusive, I meant that they understood that the people on the ground, the stakeholders, the professionals in the industry, they understood that their place was to drive us.
Yes.
Okay? Their place was to make sure that they'd handle the technical background. But the product, we market the product. Okay? It's about showing a face to the product when you go to these shows. So I was quite pleased. I'm quite excited. What we need to do now is to prepare the public, because remember, when divers come to the island, they spend a fraction of their money diving. But I don't transport them. They don't stay by me. They don't eat by me. You know, and if they get sick, God forbid, they're not gonna. I don't have a hospital. You know what I mean? So you have to make sure that all these entities latch on to the tourism product, just like how Castar was mentioned in your news.
Yes.
In the news. The entire island has to be like that. They have to understand that tourism has to be supported
by the
community.
people.
By the people, yes. They have to understand the connection they have to tourism and how it affects everybody on the island when people come here and spend their money, you know, because and we benefit from it. It's just that the educational system doesn't support that, especially the educational system. We were in discussion, the Association of Tobago Dive Operators are in discussion with Tatil. I don't know if I'm talking too soon, but we want to start offering scholarships for people who are keen on becoming dive professionals, dive masters, dive instructors. Because after myself, Generation Go, there's nobody else. There's nobody with the experience. Okay? So we want to offer it to the schools. We want to offer it to the community. We've been discussing it with the board of Tital, and they seem to be keen on the idea on making sure that we have a surplus of professionals on the island. Okay? And they don't necessarily have to be in the tourism sector. Okay, because for years I've been certifying people who've gone into commercial diving, yes, who've gone into environmental science, who've gone into all sorts of marine aspects, Coast Guard.
But it starts with learning that open water, getting that open water certification.
You have to have your people comfortable in the water, yes, and our educational system frowns on getting people in the water.
And you know, I mean, we always talk about this, but it has to be a continued conversation.
Has to be.
Because, I mean, we often complain here in Tobago that, I mean, people come in from outside and, you know, they're working and they're making all the money, yeah, but yet we do not channel our students into those directions.
We take the easy route. One person drowned, but you know what we do? We ban everybody from going in the water when it's supposed to be the other way. You have to educate them because we are surrounded by water.
I guess, I mean, a good analogy is using that of being able to, I mean, a car. I mean, how many people die in accidents every year?
Oh, girl, stop driving.
But we have not stopped driving. So, I mean, it's all about learning.
You have to teach your people. You have to teach them. And from there, you're gonna pluck out the professionals, the people who you can have them get to the level of supervising and instructing at the same time, you know. But you have to make sure that it's available to our people, because over the years, most of my staff has not been from the island of Tobago. There have been people that come in from all over Trinidad, even Trinidad.
Yes.
A lot of the divers that I dive right now is from Princeton, San Fernando. They local. They don't see it, but they come in here and they diving like crazy.
And then, I mean, here, the other thing that, I mean, for the viewers who don't know, Dougie hosts students from the Astra Boys School come over almost weekly.
Yeah, they come over even the only thing that stopped them was the COVID. And the fact that they were not able to get to the island. And these are people, average people who come together as a group and understood that, listen, you have to know, you have to get out of the mindset, and Tobago is notorious about it. The mindset of, okay, when you leave school, you're going into the fire service, you're going to the police service, you're going to THA, you're going to you have to create your opportunity. But the only way to create your opportunity, create your job, create it, you have to now educate your kids on how to think outside of the box. And there are sectors in Trinidad that has latched onto that and understood that. So things like scuba diving, they know at the end of maybe a few years down the line, he will get the opportunity to end up doing something else in the marine sector. We have to do that here.
And then what about in terms of the support? Because I know that is one of the discouragements of getting into the sector, because it is costly.
It is costly.
Because, I mean, you have, to stay alive, you need the equipment, and the equipment does not come cheap. So, I mean, what do we need in terms of being able to support people getting into that industry and, you know, not having their economical backgrounds being their standing block?
Well, we're hoping that the discussion we have with Tital, they will understand that they will have to support that, because nothing that we work with is produced here. We have to buy. We have to go. We are in Miami or New York, all over the place to buy an O-ring, a Teflon O-ring for the compressor. So we're hoping that we get that support. It's very equipment intensive, and once it is that we are good players in the industry, we know all the producers of these equipment. So it's not difficult for us to get it. It is expensive for clients to have them, but we have them already. Okay. So yeah, I think that they're excited about it. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. And I think we can work out a good plan for our people here to make sure that we stay viable in the dive industry, especially.
All right, great. So good things happening, or good things are going to come in 2023.
I think so. We're still in a good place. We're still in a good place when it comes to tourism.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Alvin Douglas, for being on with us, better known as Dougie. And I always say, if you want to go and learn how to dive, you should learn how to go and dive. Mr. Douglas is one of the people. But of course, there are others in the sector as well. Mr. Derek Chung, good morning to you. And then up in space side, Mr. Robertson. So we have our people out there. So get in the water and learn, because the best part of Tobago is underwater. Okay. Believe you me, the best part of Tobago is underwater. So, and thank you again for being on with us.
You're so welcome. Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Yes, because we are in the Christmas season, and even though we might have a sorrow-less Christmas, we can still have a good Christmas.
I had sorrow this morning.
You had sorrow this morning?
Yeah, froze it.
Froze it. Yeah, that's what we have to do. You have to buy the ones that are dried in the packages.
It was frozen, and it was great. So. But we know that it was a shortage. Yeah.
Yes, and you always have to find ways to cope with all the challenges that we're facing. But viewers, again, thank you for being with us. It was a pleasure being with you all this morning. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.
Special, and there is no denying Tobago is number one. Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denise.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the sky.